Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Miami Home Show. Just remember this: we're live every single Tuesday at 4:30 in the afternoon. You can check us out on OVM Radio, OVM TV, any of the OVM platforms. You can check us out also on BrokerNation.net/, the Miami Home Show every Tuesday at 4:30, live with good content, information, real estate related, so you know what to do, what to expect, what the future holds, and talking about the future. Today we're gonna be talking about the one thing that every homeowner needs to know about a recession. And that's a question that we continue to get. Our real estate agents and brokers, our customers are coming to us. Hey, what is going on? Well, there's a housing crisis. What's going on? We're heading to a recession. It's the market going to collapse? What is going on? So that's why I thought it was really interesting to put this information together. The one thing that every homeowner needs to know about a recession. So if you're a homeowner, this information is for you. If you're a real estate agent, this information is for you. Please make sure you hit the like button, whichever wherever you're watching this. Make sure you hit the like button. Share with somebody, a friend. If you're an agent, share with one of your customers. I mean, they need to see this. They need to understand that we have answers for every situation or every problem out there. So today on set, we have a very special guest joining us. It's a special visit, Louis Pacheco for Encore Mortgage. Louis, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Wow. Now you cannot leave. We have Ray the Realtor and Brian's helping us out on set today. Again, the topic for today's episode is the one thing that every homeowner needs to know about a recession. A recession does not equal a housing crisis. That's the one thing that every homeowner today needs to know. Everywhere you look, experts, what are they saying? They're warning that we could be heading to a recession. And if it's true, an economic slowdown doesn't mean that homes will lose value. You see, the National Bureau of Economic Research defines recession the following way. They say that a recession is a significant decline in economic activity spread across the economy, normally visible in production, employment, and other type of indicators. A recession begins where the economy reaches a peak of economic activity and ends when the economy reaches its trough. So between a trough and a peak, the economy is an expansion. So to help show that home prices don't fall every time there's a recession, I want you to take a look at the following historical data, which is I put it down as a graph so you can see it and understand it. Vamos a ver una gráfica que le va a mostrar cómo es que cómo esto ha sido históricamente lo que tiene que ver con recession, que no tiene que ver con una crisis económica. Now, there have been 6 recessions, if you look at the graph, in this country over the past 4 decades. As the graph shows, looking at the recessions going all the way back to the 1980s, home prices appreciated 4 times and depreciated only 2 times. So historically, there's proof that when the economy slows down, it doesn't mean home values will fall or depreciate. Now, the first occasion on the graph, if you notice, when home values depreciated was in the early 1990s, when home prices dropped by less than 2%. It happened again during the housing crisis in 2008. I'm sure you remember that, when home values declined by almost, 20%? Now, most people vividly remember that, the housing crisis in 2008. And they think that if we were to fall into a recession, that we'll repeat what happened. But the most important of this housing market isn't a bubble that's about to burst. The fundamentals are very different today than they were back in 2008. So we wouldn't assume that we're heading down the same path. Now, this is a question that we get a lot, right? We're in a housing bubble. What's going to happen? Well, the question is why this housing market is not a bubble that's ready to pop, right? So the answer is going to be really interesting. All right, so home ownership, and I want you to think about this carefully, and hopefully I can answer your questions today. Home ownership has become a major element in achieving the American dream. A recent report from NAR, the National Association of Realtors, finds that over 86% of buyers agree home ownership is still the American dream. Ray, do you think homeownership is the American dream?
Oh, definitely. It's what helps us with generational wealth and with improving your status.
Excellent. So we all here we believe that homeownership is still the American dream. Prior, and notice this, prior to the 1950s, less than half of the country owned their own home. However, after World War II, many returning veterans used the benefits that was afforded by the GI Bill to purchase a home. And since then, the percentage of homeowners throughout the country has increased to the current rate of 65, I think 65.5%. Now, it's a strong desire, right, for home ownership that has kept home values appreciating ever since. And the graph, I want you to look at another graph. Vamos a ver otra gráfica. Let me show you real quick. Now, you see that graph right there. That graph tracks home price appreciation since the end of World War II. That graph shows also the only time that home values dropped significantly was during the housing boom and bust of 2006 to 2008. Now, if you look at how prices spiked prior to 2006, it looks a bit like the current spike in prices over the past 2 years. Now, look at that graph. That may lead some people to be concerned we're about to see a similar fall in home values as we did when the bubble burst. But to help alleviate those worries and concerns that you may have, let's look at what happened last time and what's happening today. What caused the housing crash 15 years ago? You remember? Well, back in 2006, foreclosures, they flooded the market, and that drove down home values drastically, right? Dramatically. And the two main reasons for the flood of foreclosures were many purchases or buyers were not truly qualified for the mortgage they obtained, which led to more homes turning into foreclosures, right, Louis? So that happened. And also a number of homeowners cashed in the equity in their homes. So when prices dropped, what happened? They found themselves in an underwater situation. That means that where the home was worth less than the mortgage on the house. So that led to foreclosures, short sales, you name it. And I'm pretty sure many of you remember this. Now, many of these homeowners, they walked away from their homes, leading to more foreclosures in the market. Now, this lower neighboring home values even further, right? And this cycle continued for many, many years. Now, why today in our market, why today's real estate market is completely different? I'm going to give you two reasons today. And I hope you're taking notes. And I hope by this time I'm answering most of your questions or your concerns that you may have. In fact, if you have any further questions and you need and would like to know more and see where we can help you and deciding if you will, if this is the time to sell, maybe tap it into some of this equity that you may have on your property, feel free to give us a call. Our phone number is 305-508-9893. Broker Nation Real Estate is our company, a real estate company, and we have a whole team ready to help you today to make the right choice. So give us a call, 305-508-9893. So the question was, why is today's market is completely different? Today's real estate market. Two reasons. I'm gonna give you today two reasons. It's nothing like the one we experienced 15 years ago. Number one, today demand for home ownership is real. And I want you to look at the next graph. Vamos a ver otra gráfica that proves that today's real estate, the demand for home ownership is real. Now look at that graph for a minute. If you notice, running up to 2006, banks were creating artificial demand by lowering lending standards and making it easy for just about anyone to qualify for a home loan or refinance their current home. So basically, if you had a pulse, you could qualify for a property. Now, today, buyers, purchasers, and those refinancing a home face much higher standards from mortgage companies like Lewis's. Now, data from Urban Institute shows that the amount of risk banks were willing to take on then as compared to now. So you really want to sit down with your mortgage advisor, your your lender, so they can talk to you through it, right? That's why we had Lewis today on set, because if you call us now, I can get you on the phone with him. Again, the phone number is 305-508-9893. Now, everything has changed in the lending industry, and there's always risk when bank loans money, right? However, leading up to the housing crash 15 years ago, lending institutions took on much greater risk in both the person and the mortgage product that they were offering. Now, that led to mass defaults, foreclosures, and the falling of prices. Now, today, like I said, it's different. The demand for homeownership is real. It's generated by a reevaluation of the importance of home due to a worldwide pandemic. Additionally, lending standards are much stricter than the current lending environment. Now, buyers, they can't afford the mortgage they're taking on, so there's very little concern about possible defaults. And if you're worried, if you're concerned about the number of people still in forbearance, you should know that there's no risk of that causing on uh, a problem in the housing market today. There won't be a flood of foreclosures. And I know some investors like, oh my God, like I would love to see that again. I would love to take the opportunity that we had back in 2008. Well, we have a very strong market now, and for that to happen is not very likely. Many other things will need to change. So the second reason, I promise you two, the second reason is people are not using their homes as ATMs like they did in early 2000s. Remember that? As mentioned earlier, when prices were rapidly escalating in the early 2000s, many thought that it would never end. And that started to borrow against the equity in their homes to finance new cars, boats, vacation, you name it. So what happened? When prices started to fall, many of these homeowners were underwater, leading some of them to abandon their homes, right? Known as vacant properties all of a sudden. Now, this increased the number of foreclosures in the market. Homeowners didn't forget the lesson of the crash as prices skyrocketed over the last few years. There's a company called Black Knight, and they have a report. The report mentions that tappable equity, which is the amount of equity available for homeowners to access before hitting a maximum 80% loan to value ratio, or known as LTV, has more than doubled compared to 2006. That equals 4.6 trillion to 9.9 trillion dollars. Incredible. So it has doubled since 2006. The latest homeowner equity insight report from CoreLogic also, it reveals that the average homeowner gained $55,300 in home equity over the past year alone. So think about you as a seller, how much money you have sitting on your property right now on equity. Also, another report, and this is from the deputy chief economist, First American, it said that homeowners in the last quarter, the fourth quarter in 2021, had an average of $307,000 in equity. That's a historic high. Another data service revealed that 41.9% of all mortgage homes have at least 50% equity. That means that pretty much every home right now has solid equity on their property. These homeowners will not face an underwater situation. Think about it. Even if prices dip slightly. Today, homeowners are that much more cautious and secure if you think about it. Why? Because now they have equity on their property. Even if the market goes down, what's gonna happen? Right? They might lose a little bit of equity, but there's so much equity that it's not gonna be really a problem. So what's the bottom line? Well, bottom line is we're not in a recession in this country, but if one is coming, it doesn't mean that homes will lose value. History proves a recession doesn't equal a housing crisis. Also, the major reason for the housing crash 15 years ago was a tsunami of foreclosures. I was able to show you in a graph. With much stricter mortgage standard and a historic level of homeowner equity, the fear of massive foreclosures impacting today's market, that's not realistic. So keep that in mind, and I hope this answered your question. If you're a real estate agent, a real estate broker, a real estate professional, make sure your customers, they get this information. Make sure that they understand it, they grasp the meaning of this, because it would help you not only as a professional, but you're going to be able to help somebody answer many of the questions that they have in regards to our real estate market. My name is Dalan Rubido with Broker Nation Real Estate. We have a team constantly looking for information, putting stuff together to help you, the customer, to really come up with the best solutions, answer your questions so that you can make the best decision in today's market, whether it's time to sell or whether it's time to buy. Or if you're a real estate investor, this is the best time to invest and continue growing your portfolio. Once again, the phone number is 305-508-9893. Our company is Broker Nation Real Estate. We have over 30 years of experience in this market. So we're here to help you increase your business as a real estate professional. And for that, we highly encourage you to visit our website, which is brokernation.net. You're going to learn more about our company, the stuff that we offer to real estate professionals, content like this that you're able to learn and to share with your customers as well. So join us next Tuesday, because we always have information and content and education for all of our real estate professionals, but most importantly for our customers. So join us every Tuesday live at 4:30. And again, you can use any of our platform. You can find us on YouTube, any of our social media platform, OVM Radio, OVM TV, brokernation.net/the Miami Home Show. I hope to see you soon, and give us a call if you have any questions, or we can answer any other questions you may have. And I'll see you next Tuesday at 4:30 live on the Miami Home Show. Thank you for watching.